Morning, folks. Day Shave is with Arco, and I've got Arco. I've got it in a shave mug here, and the one I have, instead of a stick, this one here comes in a little jar, little tube, container, plastic container. Got it here in the Old Spice shaving mug here, and this particular Omega brush fits perfectly, in my opinion, in this one here. Rusty mentions that from time to time in one of his videos, when you're going to whipping up your lather and the brush banging on the side of the jar or the bowl, that is, making that noise, but you see this loft is just perfect when it comes to that sort of thing, so it doesn't make any noise that 4:30 in the morning when everybody else is still asleep. But I got it whipped up here. Arco, to me, it's a pleasant scent for my nose. For some other folks, the scent is off-putting, but for me, it works just fine with my nose. I'm going to follow it up with the Barbedeaux today. This one here, I think Barbedeaux's on sale for about $25. I've got a link down below. Sometimes you can catch it for 20 bucks. It depends on what time of the year. In other words, when you get closer to Black Friday and whatnot. Also got a link down there for if you're an Arco fan, in the little plastic tubs. You can pick up 12 of them for about $27, $28. So once you start to do the math, it works out to being pretty economical, buying them by the dozen, if you will. But like I say, I've got a link down below, but when I bought mine, it was even cheaper yet because it was a while back, and I got 12. I think it was right around the $24 or $25 mark. Pretty inexpensive when you're looking at it long term. To a degree, depending on how you want to look at it, the shave is kind of sort of on the inexpensive side. As goes for Barbedeaux, this is not your 3.3 or 3.4 ounce container. This one here is 6.4. In other words, it's 190 milliliters. The container itself is 200 milliliters. So you're getting, quite a bit for your money. Large container. That might not work for some folks. The container might be a little bit too big for your needs. I've already put a hot towel to the face this morning. Also the pre-shave oil. Now I got this pre-shave oil, this Art of Shaving pre-shave oil from Ross. This one here I got at Ross. So in other words, I got it on the cheap. And as goes for the razor blades, using a Personna X series blade, and it comes in a box like this here. Once again, I got these on sale on eBay a while back, and it was a 3-pack. So in other words, I end up with 300 of these, I think for like 28 bucks, if I remember right, shipped. In other words, I got them darn cheap. I couldn't pass up the deal. 300 blades, in other words, less than $10 a pack. Yeah, I had to jump on it. Couldn't let those sit. No way. It was a great buy. Anyway, Personna X series, and the the shaver days of Weishi. This is the box it came in. That's the model number, and the color is this is like a gunmetal type color. It's not the PVD. In other words, it's not the black one. This one here is actually chrome, but it is the gunmetal color, and picked this up on sale, right around Christmas also. In other words, on the cheap. And if you're wondering what the blade looks like around the inside, let's see if I can hold it in there without it falling out. That's what it looks like there on the inside. You can kind of see what that center bar looks like, kind of reminiscent of a Gillette. I've had a few of these. These shavers are inexpensive. If you're concerned about losing one while you're traveling, this one here wouldn't necessarily break the bank. And I get great shaves with these. I've got a few of these I put in my travel kits, and I enjoy shaving with them. With all that being said, I enjoy these kind of shaves. To me, these are very enjoyable shaves. I don't mind using Arco or Williams, whipping it up in a Old Spice mug. For me, these are just, I guess you might say, easygoing type shaves. I just really do enjoy them. They're inexpensive. Fits, in other words, darn near anybody's budget. You buy them, in other words, you be patient, shop at the right times. Save your pennies, if you will. Speaking of something I picked up that I had been looking for off and on for a while, and decided to go a different route. I mention from time to time what you can find in Walmart or when you walk into Target or Marshall's or whatever the case might be. And one of the things I found, and I'll be using here pretty soon in a video, is Nivea for men. Their products, in other words, typically you can find them in other words, whatever Walmart or Target store that you shop in or whatever the case might be. But sometimes when it comes to what you find in a store, not all Walmarts, in other words, the superstores are the same size. So their products, in other words, will vary from store to store sometimes. And finding Nivea for men products at Walmart, not too far from where we usually go to when we do go inside here of late, you don't always find these products readily available. So Nivea for men is one of those that's kind of hit miss. Sometimes they'll have it, sometimes they won't. Kind of like Gillette Pure. In other words, you kind of get the idea. Sometimes you may not always see the product. So I ordered it online and found a Nivea for men. It's called, it's an aftershave. It's called Deep, but the scent is vanilla and bourbon. And I picked it up online, had it shipped to the house. It finally showed up yesterday. The shipping was delayed, in other words. And I think it was like $5.54. In other words, not real expensive for an aftershave, and about 100 milliliters. Your typical 3.3, 3.4 ounces. And now, as goes for the scent, it's interesting. My wife and I had her take a sniff of the aftershave, and it's interesting. There is something that my wife and I do agree when it comes to scent strength. She likes it strong. She doesn't like, in other words, just kind of a mellow, easygoing, it's there, but not in your face type aftershave. She wants to be very noticeable. So Nivea for men is I would say a light on the scent. And bringing all that up, also the Barbedeaux is a lot like that. I like Barbedeaux more for what it does for my face. The scent is supposed to be citrus, I think. Excuse me. My nose most of the time does not pick that up. It picks up a scent, but not citrus. I don't know what I'm picking up, but for me, Barbedeaux is more for what it does for the face. And the very first time I used it, put it on, it just feels fantastic. I can just feel it going to work. It's just one of those kind of aftershaves. And I kind of put Nivea for men kind of sort of in the same group, that it's a pretty good product, especially for something you can just walk in the store and typically find in the store. And I say typically because I had to order Deep Nivea. It was I had been looking in the store for what, over a year? Well over a year, probably closer to 2. I mean, it's been a good long moment. I've been looking for it in the store, just trying to be patient and wait for it to show up in the store. Well, my neck of the woods, it never did really show up. If it did, I missed it. So I decided just to go ahead and order it along with some other stuff I was picking up. It's kind of like Gillette Pure, picking up 3 tubes of it, and I think it worked out, what, $5.50 a tube or something like that. For me, Arco works just fine. Like I say, for some folks, the scent doesn't work very well with their nose. For me, it works just fine. This has been in a mug for a good long moment. Yeah, probably 2 years, maybe a little bit more. So the scent, in other words, has dissipated over time. It's still there, but not near as strong as it used to be. And but the performance is still great. I mean, it works just fine for me. But this is my shave routine. In other words, using either a pre-shave soap or pre-shave oil. In other words, my routine has been pretty well set, so um, to me that makes quite a bit of a factor when it comes to using an Arco or a Williams. For me, I have a special relationship with Williams because my very first puck of Williams was very frustrating. When I first started, I could not figure out how to get it to lather. And after practicing with it for quite some time and never could quite figure it out, got frustrated with the first puck and threw it in the trash. And then I decided to revisit it and picked up another puck, and then finally the light bulb came on and everything just came together. And Arco, I've never had that problem with lathering Arco, but Williams, once I learned how to lather it, it's just one of those things. After you learn how to use it, it kind of sort of falls in that favorite group, if you will. You kind of have a personal connection to it. And learn how to use a lather Williams with a boar brush. And ever since then, when it comes to hard soap, for me, starting out learning how to lather with a boar brush has always been one of those things I work towards. You can lather it with a synthetic brush without a problem. My other brush that I learned to lather Williams with was with a horsehair. And for me, horsehair is pretty easy to use. And you can find those horsehair brushes in smaller knots usually. You may have to hunt a little bit anymore for them, but you can usually find them. In other words, right around the 20-22 millimeter knot size. For me, this is such a easygoing shaver. You can pick these up. I've seen them go as cheap as $6. I guess you might say normally you can find it, depending on where you shop, 10, $11, somewhere upwards of 15, depending on the handle size. Usually the ones with the larger handles, longer handles, have a tip. They typically go towards the $15 mark. But the short handle like this one here, 10, $11. For me, that's pretty inexpensive. It shaves just fine for me. It doesn't feel exactly like a Gillette. The weight is different, but it still shaves just fine. At least for me, it does. It doesn't feel as great as holding in other words, a Razor Emporium. In other words, the Vector or any of those other shavers. In other words, that are really nice. It doesn't have the weight to it, but it shaves just fine. And if you're looking to shave on a budget, in other words, in between your Arco and your Williams and your Weishi and even Aqua Velva, which is another one of my favorite aftershaves, you can get great shaves with them without breaking the bank. 10, $15 on a razor. You can find a 100 pack of blades for around the $10 mark, depending on what brand you're looking for. Like I say, I got these here, these Personas. I got 300 pack for just right under $30 shipped. When you find deals like that, in other words, it doesn't have to be really expensive. And once again, when I go shopping at Marshall's, here it is. This is, you see the price tag right there, $5.99, and this is the 16 ounces of witch hazel. That's quite a bit of witch hazel. It's going to last a good long moment. Alum block, you can pick it up pretty inexpensive too. I think I've seen it go at Italian Barber. Pick up an alum block for about $2.50. Grumatorium also, you'll find stuff on sale. You shop there enough, in other words, do some window shopping online, and you'll find stuff on sale like that, for inexpensive, not a whole lot of money. And that witch hazel, I can still pick up a little bit of a scent with my nose. My nose being what it is. Once again, this is pretty good stuff. I don't. My nose, my nose is not the best in the world. That's what the restrictor looks like there. When it comes to picking up scent, it says it's citrus. My nose doesn't pick up citrus. If I didn't know any better, it smells. My nose seems like I'm wanting to say it's closer to vetiver, but like I say, for my nose, the scent it's here. It'll be here for a moment. Give it, I don't know, for my nose, it's not even 5 or 10 minutes, and I don't notice the scent. So if you're going to put on a cologne afterwards, in my opinion, per my nose, it will play well. To me, that's one of the things that's kind of nice about Williams or Arco. The scent of the soap is there for a brief moment, then I don't notice it anymore. And if you're using an aftershave like Barbedeaux, or even like Nivea for men that I mentioned, that vanilla bourbon, you can smell it for a moment and then it's gone. And then you can put your cologne on a little bit later on, and I don't feel like that the two will, in other words, have a interaction, at least not per my nose. It has to be pretty strong. Just a really nice shave this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you on a Tuesday.